皆さん、こんにちは。弊社 CEO が長年の経験をもとにテーマをピックアップし、鋭い視点で解説する CEO インサイト。今回は最近日本でも導入され、注目を集めている市場連動型プライシングについて説明いたします。
Welcome to another video on CEO Insights. This month, I want to talk about the new phenomena in Japan where MEDIA has approved for retailers and utilities to offer customers market-based pricing. So I thought I would share in this video lessons learned because market-based pricing has been in the US markets for many years. So here's some things you can expect to see change in Japan due to the market-based pricing phenomena that's just starting. Market-based pricing always means new customer power pricing models. A few examples. Block and index. One of the more popular for high voltage, extra high voltage customers is a block and index. It's basically a fixed price for a fixed volume over a term and a floating price for volumes that change with time, daily, hourly, etc. Collar pricing. Another one, this heavily uses futures, which we'll get into in a minute, but collar pricing has a cap that the customer's price won't go above and a floor where the customer's price won't go below. Also popular in the US markets. Another popular one, especially with the smaller business customers and certainly residential, is a fixed price full requirements. So full requirements means the same price no matter how much they use. So typically there's a significant premium for this because it's harder to hedge and the pricing is typically based on some kind of peak, which we'll also get into in a minute. For the very large customers, a popular model is a trigger deal. This is where the customer is monitoring the markets themselves and they're given a formula based on a futures price by the futures months that they can call the supplier, the retailer, if you will, and trigger when they want to lock in a price. So this way the customer controls the pricing and typically the formula has some kind of premium for services and margin, etc. So that's just a handful of the many models we expect to see coming with the market-based pricing. With market-based pricing comes a shift towards hedging prices instead of more spot market exposure like Japan market's seen over the last several years, which obviously did not produce very good results for most retailers. In fact, most have lost money. So with the shift, the use of forward curves to price customers is going to be prevalent. In fact, in the US, this is the only way retailers price end use customers, especially the high voltage, extra high voltage, is use of a forward curve to model out what the prices look like in the future. That also allows you to hedge using futures and or over-the-counter derivatives provided by some of the wholesale trading companies. You also see the creation of pools of customers, which is done today mostly for balancing and scheduling purposes, but you'll start to see that based on pricing programs, which customers are on block and index, which customers are on collar, etc. So these are normally in the risk world called books. The pricing tools you're going to start seeing also add a margin and volatility for load swings. The more volatile the load, in other words, peak to peak over season and 30 minutes daily, etc., there's a premium for hedging that kind of load volume. It's done in the pricing model, not in hedging, not so much in the scheduling and balancing the spot market. Another phenomenon we're already starting to see and will become more prevalent is for suppliers and retailers to be much easier to differentiate from competitors. Under the prior model, most retailers and competitors call what I call mimic with utility. They look like the tariff structure. So that's very hard to differentiate as a supplier if you're competing with utility tariff. But utility tariff does not do block and index. It can't do collar pricing. They don't do trigger deals. So there's many things suppliers can do that utilities cannot do under tariff structures. Analytics can provide unique pricing structures beyond the ones I've already talked about. For example, using weather variables in the customer pricing. So you can put a cap and collar on price. You can put that triggered to a degree day or a number of degrees in a month, many variations that can be done. So the last point I want to talk about is market-based pricing provides the ability to offer pricing programs that more closely match what customers need. So some customers like the idea of a fixed budget. Some customers like block and index. Some are willing to take market risk, many are not. So there'll be more and more pricing and risk software to semi-customized prices. So for example, in the US market, a high voltage customer can be literally priced within a minute. This technology will soon be coming to Japan. So hopefully this was interesting. If you'd like to know more details or get into this topic on how this could work in Japan, please give us a ring. Thanks for watching.